What's up guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my mid-year book tag. Let's go through all the statistics, all the books I read, my 5-star reads, DNFs, and every other question that I have written down. So let's get right into it. Alright, so let's first get into my mid-year statistics. I have read 60 books this year. I have read 24 new authors. I've had 4 DNFs and I have 8 5-star reads. So that's like really great. Those are the statistics. In terms of the questions, here's the first one. Your best book of 2024 so far. My favorite book of 2024 is none other than Funny Story by Emily Henry. I will say, I personally don't think that the writing was as great as Happy Place by Emily Henry, but it still was phenomenal. It still had great lines that I underlined and highlighted. I really felt each line and how I felt what the characters were feeling. I had a phenomenal time reading it. A new release that I haven't read but I want to. This is gonna be Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. All my favorite booktubers are saying how it's a 5-star read for them and how her prose is perfect. Like she puts the right amount of detail. She has the perfect sentence structure and all this stuff. So I really want to get to that. All her books are fairly short and they're easy to fly by, but they also carry such emotional depth to them. So I'm very excited to put my hands on one of her books because I have never read any of them so far. Your biggest book surprise. That's gonna have to be Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. I bought this in, I want to say early 2023 and I just left it. I didn't touch it. I saw someone, I forgot who it was, but somebody was reading it that was famous and like their picture got taken of them holding this book. So it made me want to read it, but I just never got to it. And this year I finally picked it up. This was a part of my physical TBR. I really enjoyed it. This is pretty much Hunger Games, but with political intrigue, enemies to lovers, romance, and also set in the Kingdom of Talin. I'm not gonna lie, I ate it up. I read this in 2 days. I thought it was so interesting. It made me interested enough to try and find like any early releases of the first 2 chapters of the second book called The Vilest Things. And I'm not gonna lie, I probably would continue this series. Since finishing it, I haven't thought about it much after like the first week of me finishing it. I will say I did not think I was gonna like it. I thought it was gonna be boring, but I liked it better than the Foul Heart Huntsman series by Chloe Gong. Next is a book that you've been putting off. So this book specifically, I really want to get to because it sounds so interesting, but for whatever reason, I just have not picked it up. It's called The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. It looks so pretty. I think the reason why I haven't picked it up yet is because it's so long. It's well into the 500s. I just haven't found the time to read a book that's long. Hopefully I will read this before 2024 ends. Next question is your favorite author, debut, or new to you? I wouldn't say that these are exactly my favorite authors, but they are authors that I had never read before besides this year, and I fell in love with 1, their writing, and 2, their books. So the first one is Danielle L. Jensen. She wrote Bridge Kingdom. I read that little duology. There's 4 books in the series, but the first 2 follow the same characters. I rated Bridge Kingdom 5 stars. I thought it was phenomenal. Her writing was rivaling Sarah J. Maas. Like I thought it was exquisite. Like I really thought her details, her prose, everything was phenomenal. The second is Elle Casamino, and she wrote the Finley Donovan series. And honestly, I'm eating those up. I have read 3 of the Finley Donovan installments. I think there's 1 more out and 1 more coming out next year. I love them. I'm obsessed. I think that they're phenomenal. I don't think that they're boring. I don't think that they're redundant. I think that they're so fun every single time. A new author I'd recommend. So I have one of her books here. She is J.J. Wright. She wrote the Tales of Tigrine series, which is a duology. And she also recently wrote Icing Hearts, which is the book that I almost rated 5 stars. I thought it was so good. It really captured that high school angst because it's a high school hockey romance. It honestly felt like me reading Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I would recommend. A book that made me cry. So I do not cry at books. Like they could be really heartbreakingly sad and I don't cry. I don't know why. I am connected to the characters, but like to have liquid come out of my eyes, that just doesn't happen for me often. I teared up slightly at the Nightingale. That is a beautiful story about World War II. It follows two sisters and how each of them are coping with the war and how it's slowly infiltrating where they are geographically. It was just such a beautiful story. I really love that book. That was also one of my 5-star reads for this year. A book that made me happy is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Another 5-star read for me this year. I tabbed this book. This book was so phenomenal. I don't think I've ever appreciated a romance more than I have in this one. Everyone talks about how Justin, the main love interest in this book, is the epitome of if he wanted to, he would. And that's so true. The love story is so tender, it's so sweet. It talks about really, really heavy topics in this book as well on both main characters' parts. And also something that always is a dead ringer for 5 stars for me in books is solid friendship tropes. The friendship between Emma and Maddie, her best friend Maddie in this book, is so sweet and so real. If you have a solid friendship in a book, no matter what genre it is, I will fall for it. I love solid friendship. Made me smile, kicking my feet, giggling, all the works. I would highly recommend Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez if you haven't already read it. What books do you want/need to read by the end of this year? So, as you guys know, Reckless by Lauren Roberts came out. I want to read the entire, I think it's going to be a trilogy, but I haven't read Powerless yet, and I want to read the novella too. So I want to read Powerless, Powerful, and Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I also want to get to Anne of Green Gables. I have heard so much about this book. The books that I read literally quote Anne of Green Gables. The acknowledgments that I read quote Anne of Green Gables. So this is a well-renowned classic that I would love to read and annotate and really get into. Also, I watched the Netflix series of Anne of Green Gables that they based off of the book, and I sobbed. I sobbed real tears. It moved me to my core. I thought it was the most beautiful Netflix series I have ever seen in my whole life. I cannot wait to get to this book. I also want to read The Lovely War. Ashlyn said that it was 5 stars for her. She said it was phenomenal. I think it's also based on around World War II, but it's from the perspective of Greek gods. Destiny also said that she rated it 5 stars. I want to read it now. Because they recommended it, I want to read it. It was 5 stars for both of them, and I'm so intrigued because I am pretty interested in Greek mythology, and also I'm interested in World War II. That is for sure on my radar. And last but not least, I'm currently reading Pride and Prejudice. I'm also tabbing this book and underlining because this book is hilarious. If you guys didn't know, it's so funny. It is a romance, but it's so funny, and I love the societal quips, I guess you could say, Jane Austen writes in it. I really want to get this done before 2025. I have to get it done. It's only 300 something pages, and so far I'm very much enjoying it. Any good rereads this year? So I did reread House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. That was a 4-star for me, but another book that I'm going to reread this year that I'm actually in the middle of rereading is Happy Place by Emily Henry. This book is just the epitome of summer, so I'm rereading it now whenever I go outside and just sit out. This book was a 5-star read for me last year, and I think it's going to be a 6-star read for me this year. And randomly, low-key, I kind of want to reread Fourth Wing because I read Fourth Wing last summer at this time. A book no one talks about but you really enjoyed. Okay, so I found out about the author Claire Gilmore through Haley Pham because she read Love Interest. Sarah Caroli said that she saw Claire Gilmore's other 2 books because she has 3 books out on Kindle Unlimited. So I was like, oh, let me check it out. I read What Happened to Helen Rochester on Kindle Unlimited, and let me tell you, that book was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. I rated it 4.5 stars. I thought that book was so good. It was entertaining. It was funny. There was a subplot of romance. The mystery was well thought out, and everything wrapped up nicely at the end. I don't know why more people aren't talking about it, but now you guys know, I would highly recommend. Series you want to finish this year? I want to finish the Shatter Me series. I think I read the first Shatter Me book maybe in late 2022, I want to say. I have not picked up the rest of the series, mainly because I don't have the rest of the series, and when I went to go to my library, they didn't have any of the books either. So I'm just waiting on the entire Shatter Me series. I even want to read the novellas. I'm just waiting for that whole box set. I really want to just get that off of my list for 2024 so that I can go into 2025 starting all new series. What is my reading goal, and do I think I'm going to reach it? So I had the reading goal to read 85 books this year. Right now I have read 60, as I said earlier, and I definitely think I'm going to reach that goal. I wasn't quite sure like how my reading would turn out since I had my baby, but I'm doing pretty good. In June I read 6 books. I think that was a pretty decent amount considering considering like that was the first month of me having my son. So I think I'll reach it. I only have 25 books to go and I have quite a few left on my physical TBR. So I really, oh my gosh, it would be a dream come true if I only had 3 books left on my physical TBR by the end of this year. I don't want to have any books on my physical TBR so I can just read new books whenever I want to. That pretty much wraps up my mid-year book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys are reading down below in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss another upload. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. God bless you guys and peace.